Everybody, join the club. It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime. Everybody, join the club. It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime.
Sure is. Club World Cup on Footy Prime. Good to see
everybody. Join the club.
Cut out.
Gotcha.
Oh, what a prank stir.
What a prankster on us.
Yeah, it is. It's Footy Prime doing the Club World Cup, our little mini pod here, thanks to DAZN. By the way, you can, Wonger, you may not know this, but you can watch all of the Club World Cup for free on DAZN.
Get out. They're
Just
offering that.
Right yep. Sign up right now. Free. One cost you
DAZN.
a dime. Anyways, Footy Prime, I'm Sharms. We've got Craig Forrest. We've got Wonger there. We've got Jimmy B. That's Jim Brennan. And I get the feeling after what happened on Thursday, the Club World Cup's kind of arrived for me, given that we got some historic results. We have Inter Miami beating Porto. We got Botafogo beating PSG, who I think we all said was the team to beat in this tournament. Unbeatable, 12 goals for the last 3 games. Looked incredible in that first match. And then Botafogo and their defense win 1-0. Craig, it's come to a life. I mean, it's been some moments so far, but every tournament, like World Cups, Euros, Gold Cups, there's that day when it's like, oh, okay, now I want to watch this stuff.
Yeah, even the Seattle game, Sounders, I thought they played pretty well. They really competed, and the scoreline wasn't what they wanted, but the performance wasn't that bad. And Botafogo, they found themselves defending deep for long periods of time in that match and outshot considerably, but managed to hold on for a historic win. They were buzzing about it. I mean, they're obviously playing against a few Brazilians too with PSG.
Hey, Jimmy, is it a case of us underrating some of these teams? Is it a case of the European players being knackered? Is it just that maybe football, this wide world of football that we love so much, it might be a little smaller than we thought?
Well, I think you got to give credit to the Brazilians as well. I mean, they always have fantastic teams, world-class players, and their league is one of the best in the world. I mean, you look even at this competition, how many times a Brazilian team has got to the final or actually won this competition. And, you know, Botafogo right now is one of the best teams in Brazil. Igor Jesus, for me, is a phenomenal striker. He's got a lot of interest over in Europe. I mean, Nottingham Forest is linked with him as well. Cunha in the back, defensively, 6'6" defender. These guys, and I would listen to the press conference after when the manager was talking, and the manager said, we gave PSG a bit of their own medicine. He said, we matched them. We played the same way that they play, with that intensity. And he said, you know, we came away with the result because it was a team effort. Everybody was on the same page. He told them at the beginning of the match, get out there and enjoy this game and stick together. And Botafogo did. You saw how they defended. When they attacked, they went with numbers forward. I thought it was a very good performance from Botafogo. And PSG's just struggled to break them down, especially in that final third.
Still PSG though, right, Craig? I mean, this team's going to rebound at some point.
Incredibly well organized.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good.
It sets up, I think, the tournament as well, especially in that group, for some drama, some heroics. We saw it, of course, in the Inter Miami group as well. We saw, and we'll get to the goal itself, the Messi goal, but see an MLS team take care of, you know, Porto, who is a good European team. Let's not dismiss them. They're a solid team. Not one of the superpowers at the moment. They have been in the past, Champions League winners, great players, bit of rotation in there. But Craig, again, for Inter Miami and brand MLS, what an enormous moment that was.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, at the end of the day, the two teams are separated by the brilliance of Messi on the set piece. He's done it again. The commentators were all over it. They were almost calling the goal before it was taken. They almost say it was a tap-in, but not quite a tap-in for Messi. But
I like this goal myself, the first Miami goal.
That's
I mean, yeah, I love that volley from inside the box, top shelf.
Great finish. Great finish. Good run. Got in behind the defender who was looking as though he was ball watching a little bit. And here's the brilliance of Messi with the free kick. So difficult to want to put it on and protect. And either way, the goalkeeper's expecting that probably to go over top of the wall.
You want to break it down?
Your mic mute by mistake because I was trying to stay away from your radio station that you're pulling in.
Oh. All right.
Zach, see with that. Do you think Gomez, when he jumps, if he doesn't jump, then I think the keeper has a clear sight of view. But when Gomez jumps to his right there is when he loses sight of the ball.
He does, yeah. I mean, we go back, if we can see it from the start again, you can see that Porto are lined up. They're going to jump. They've already been well rehearsed to that side. So the goalkeeper's right-hand side is protected. He's got two in the wall there as well, the Miami players who can't establish themselves in the wall. So they're separated. So they're causing havoc as well. So on field level, Ramos, the goalkeeper, he doesn't see that until it's halfway there. He's protecting that side of the net. So if you're thinking about it, that side of the net's only 4 yards.
Yeah. So
and his positioning is fine. He didn't adjust himself. It didn't bite to go to his right over the wall, but he just doesn't see it.
Sorry, Craig. At this point here, he can see it, right?
Yeah, he can see. Yeah, Sharms, he can see it here. But when the keeper is telling everybody where to stand, it's because he wants to see the flight of the ball. He wants to see the ball. But Gomez ends up taking 2 steps to the right before the kick and blocks his view.
There.
And then jumps.
Yeah, there it is right there. So you can see Ramos, he doesn't see any of it. And the wall jumps, they're jumping high. You can see how difficult that would be to get that ball over there. And Messi's like, don't watch my eyes. Yeah. Because I'm going to go the same side.
But I don't know why the defender is taking steps to the right before the kick.
Yeah, because he's really quite redundant to that point anyway, where he's standing.
Yeah.
And then the 2 Miami players in that wall just to cause havoc there, they're doing a decent job as well. They know what they're doing, and they duck just at the last second. But you're right. It was actually his own player that blocked more than anything else. And if you take that free kick and you have no wall there and he's going to go that side of the net, the goalkeeper will save that just about all day long. But what they caused was chaos and opportunity and a bit of a gap for Messi to find. It was just brilliantly taken by him.
How many great free kicks are actually partially due to the wall being awful?
It does happen. It's such an important thing, Nobody wants to take one in the face or anywhere else on the body, but it's such an important job to be part of the wall. I mean, they had it all covered. They were going to jump, which they did. They had a man laying on the ground behind in case he tried to go low. Everything was perfect from that standpoint. But
I was going to say to Jimmy then, Craig, the goalie sets up his wall with his team, and Buddy, sorry, who was it that took the 2 steps to his right? Gomez. Is he getting in shit later on? Like, is his keeper saying, what were you doing? Is his coach saying, we line you up so you can go straight up? That's the whole concept. You taking 2 steps to the right actually makes us weaker and makes us more at risk.
Yeah, I think with the wall and Stacks can help me out with this. I mean, if I'm in the wall, because I was in the wall a lot, when the keeper says, there's the wall, stay there. You don't move. You don't move. And if they say, okay, everybody's jumping, we got somebody underneath, then you jump. Or they might say, stay flat-footed and don't jump. Right? And then everybody else is picking up players, but Gomez is standing right in the middle. But I don't know why he's taking those steps to the right. It doesn't make sense to me. Right? Because he's actually in a good position. The keeper can see absolutely everything, but just his movement drifting to the right before the kick, there's really no need for him to move into that area.
No. And the biggest fear for the goalkeeper is not seeing the ball struck. And that's exactly what happens there.
Yeah. But Craig, if it's you in goal, are you bollocking afterwards? Like Wonger asks there, like, is it like, what were you doing? We do this in training all the time.
Or is it in film the next day, right, Sharms? Like, where does this conversation take place?
Accountability. When is the accountability being hammered down?
Yeah.
There was actually in the other side of the wall, there was actually a Porto player that made a run back to the line, that he was going to get back to the line quickly without anybody spotting him to be able to maybe save one over top of the wall. He was nowhere near. He was like absolutely in no man's land. He wasn't even back far enough. He did absolutely nothing. So you got to make sure all the players know what they're doing. And if you're going to do something like that, run back to the line when you're putting everybody on side, you better be well rehearsed. And I don't think they were. And obviously up against Messi, they're absolutely shitting themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And where does the accountability? Is there a debrief on that goal the next day?
Oh yeah, for sure there will be. There sure will be. Yeah. I just don't like the fact that you're standing in a position where you're not really marking a player, and you're not really doing anything else except hindering the goalkeeper's vision. So,
moving on very quickly. Did you see the all Juventus players being paraded out, and the White House to stand behind old Donny Boy while he talks about global politics? It was so awkward. I felt so awful for them. There's Weah and there's McKennie, Americans in particular, going, "What are we doing here? This is so weird. It just looks so weird. You don't need that."
Weird.
FIFA constantly talk about we're not political. We're not having anti-racism banners because we're not political. I'm sounding like Trump now. We're not political. And then you do that for a photo op. Ugh, it's gross. And this isn't me picking political sides. I don't care who the president is. Just happen to be the orange orangutan. But it's gross. Keep it out.
It really puts them in awkward positions, right? Like, and that's it would have been a UV bosses of FIFA decision. And we don't like to look, we know we're not naive on this podcast to think that there's money that makes the world go round and but it's you don't want to put your players in a place where they're uncomfortable. I wouldn't think. So from a player's point of view, I don't know, Craig, Jimmy, how would you feel about that if you got pushed out into this thing where you weren't?
Well, were you guys ever put in that position, like with a politician, be it a local politician, be it a federal politician?
No, not really. Not really. I know some of the players are saying they had no choice. They were told to go. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Lawless putting out there that Trump is the soccer president. Yeah, sure he is.
Gianni just loves the photo ops, though, right? With him.
Yeah,
Gianni loves the photo ops. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's in the United States, and they're playing the Club World Cup there too.
Yeah.
And,
But it's just okay. It's one thing to have a. Sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, the players hate doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, you have to do it when you're part of the club, but they would rather be back at the hotel or in a coffee shop relaxing rather than getting the bus, go to the White House, and just stand there getting pictures.
Yeah. Players, it would be cool to go to the White House. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's one thing to have a photo op. Okay, that's okay, happens. But it's to have to stand there while he answers these loaded questions about dreadful situations around the world.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Right, that's the weird part. Like, there's old Weston McKennie and some of these boys standing there, and he's talking about Iran and Israel and trans sports. Then he asks the dumbest question: "Do you think a woman can make your team?" And I thought the Juve guy was great in the response, saying, "We've got a very strong women's team." But like, why? Anyway, let's not get into that. But I mean, it's just awkward. It doesn't need to be done. When you won the Gold Cup in 2000, who was prime minister in 2000? Was it
Chrétien?
Was it Chrétien?
Yeah, I think it was Chrétien. Yeah, and then it was
Harper.
Chrétien to Martin.
Wasn't it Harper?
Then Martin, then to Harper.
Right.
But you guys weren't invited to the to Ottawa to.
No, because we had to get back. Everybody flew back to their clubs.
Right, you guys were mid-season still.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I'm not sure we would have been anyway.
Were they even aware of it? was old Jean aware of it? If it was Jean, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, we also didn't mention about the Miami win, first MLS team to ever beat a European side in a true federated tournament. So quite accomplishment, whether it's I mean, I know it was funny. There was, tactical manager, the guy, he's a influencer, soccer influencer. He was bashing MLS, bashing Miami shouldn't even be here. And then he writes, yeah. And then Messi scores just to make me look like a dick. And
Amazing.
I just kind of went, this, and I'm not going to call it arrogance, but it is this level of, and Jimmy played in both leagues. And obviously there's difference in leagues and all that, but it's like that any given moment, any team can beat another team, right? In a one-off. And it's it just like this PSG, right? They look like they were going to walk over everybody after who'd they just beat? Inter Milan, right? Yeah. 5-0, 4-0?
No, in the Champions League final.
What do you mean, the finals or this?
No. Oh, sorry. Champions League final. But my point is, then their first match, they beat who'd they beat the first match? Sorry, Madrid. Atletico. You would think they'd walk through Botafogo. You'd think they'd walk through all these next teams, and this is a real tournament. And
it is.
And maybe it needed some Messi magic to get people involved again. And look, I don't have a Messi kit, so I wore as Don Johnson as I could. My Miami Vice are both. So this is my Miami Vice look, just so you guys know. We're the first MLS team to beat a European team. I think that's great.
I mean, it's good in a way, because then Canada gets to the next round and Estacio could be back.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. He came off the bench in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Huh. One thing is, for the average sports fan trying to figure out football and all these competitions, I can see why their head's spinning.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, hold on a minute. Estacio's playing for Canada. No, he's not. He's playing for Porto in the Club World Cup. Oh, and he might come back and play for Canada. Well, what are they playing in? Oh, they're playing in the Gold Cup.
Right.
And then in Europe, you got all these European competitions, right? You got, well, who won the conference? Who won the Europa? Who won the Champions League? And what does that all mean? Like,
too much football, Craig. Too many tournaments for us to.
It's never too much. I tell you what, I'm enjoying it, but it's hard to keep up on everything that's going on. You got FLS going on, and NSL, CPL, everything's going.
Well, even more, just even other sports. Last night, I clicked into my TSN app. I was going back and forth from NBA final, the Saudi US team, a game which I was just talking to Jimmy about before, Gold Cup match, and CFL was on. And then there was a CEBL match game also. So it was like TSN. And then I tried to go to Fubo to watch any other matches that were on that. And my Fubo, I had to do a sign in. I was too tired to sign in. And then I went to go, I'm going to go to DAZN. But I was in my bedroom at this point, and I forgot that I had to take the app off of that one platform. Anyways, suffice it to say, there are a lot of sports and a lot of decisions going on right now about what sports to watch. But this Messi thing, I think it can move the needle on the Club World Cup.
Maybe.
Do you know, when you look at it, it's fascinating how much football is being played in the States right now. It's off the chart with MLS, USL. Then you have Gold Cup, FIFA Club World Cup. You have hundreds of teams that are playing every week here.
It's insane. It's insane. Crowds right across the country. Most of them very good.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Today, very quickly, Benfica, Auckland City FC.
I need to watch
we're all
that.
looking forward to seeing that one.
What
Flamengo, Chelsea.
That's the noon, I think. Yeah.
Noon? I'll be watching that.
Flamengo, Chelsea, which is, again, Brazil against England in this case, be interesting. LAFC against Tunis. And it's Bayern Boca Juniors, the late one tonight. Yes, thank you. That's going to be a beauty. The Boca match has probably been the match of the tournament so far, their first match. Really nasty, physical. Let's see how Bayern respond to that. So it should be a great
Sharms, how do I watch that again?
Well, you can sign up to DAZN now and watch all the FIFA Club World Cup for free.
Free?
Free, Craig. Doesn't cost you a cent, a dime, a loony, a tourney. Nothing. It's free on DAZN. So get on there. This thing is gathering steam as we thought it would. It's not one-sided. It's not the Europeans against the rest. It's like, oh, we got some serious competition today. And listen, can Auckland better their first round match result? Can they not concede 10 goals against Benfica? Benfica under the cosh right now, under some pressure to show what they have. So yeah, this has been Footy Prime, our little mini pod.
And just before we sign off, Sharms, just if you haven't yet watched or listened, go to our podcast page, go to our YouTube page. An amazing, insightful, reflective, fun interview with Promise David from Canada's men's national team. And broadcast is just dropped. So we've got NSL, Best 11, Canada's women's roster, ex-national team roster that just dropped. And there's a few more things, but I'm forgetting. Oh, the Jesse Marsh. You want to know everything about Jesse Marsh versus CONCACAF? Watch our cut from yesterday. It's quite informative, and we'll give you more information on that.
One Soccer's just kind of reporting what we already heard yesterday.
Right.
That, Jesse Marsh was escorted to the press box or to his box to watch the game, then told he couldn't watch the game there. That's the most recent information which we'd heard yesterday, which we couldn't divulge at the time, but it's out there now. So we'll talk about that as it transpires as well tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
So we're back tomorrow with this little mini pod. But if there is updates on the Jesse Marsh situation, we will certainly address it there as well. All right. Until then, everyone, have a great day. Enjoy the matches, and cheers for watching and listening. Bye-bye.
It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime.
It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime.